Entrepreneur looking to increase your income, your impact, and your faith?
Are you ready to dream the impossible, knowing that with God, all things truly are possible?
It's time to create divine millionaire momentum while keeping God as your CEO. Join me, Allie Porter, your Christian Connector Concierge.
And me, Elise Smith, your Christian business strategist, as we unite our shows to bring you a dynamic and faith-infused experience.
In this inspiring show, you'll gain access to powerful insights, biblical business strategies, and the real-life stories of Christian women entrepreneurs focused on 10xing their income, their impact, and their faith just like you.
Discover how to unlock your full potential, kick that inner dream stealer to the curb, embrace a divine wealth mindset, and reach the goals that God has placed on your heart. Allie and I will guide you on a journey to not only reach your goals, but also strengthen your relationship with God as your ultimate CEO.
With divine millionaire momentum, the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. Tune in, dream big, and partner with God to make the impossible possible.
Your journey to divine success starts here.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to our Divine Millionaire Momentum show. I am so excited for today because we have a special guest. Her name is Jill MacDonald, and I'm going to share just a little bit about what we're going to be talking about in this captivating episode. So we explore the synergy between values and sales. Join us as we delve into how can my values help me to sell more. So our special guest, Jill MacDonald, is a home and family strategist. She brings a unique perspective rooted in biblical principles. Jill's mission is to strengthen families and, by extension, society using timeless values. She firmly believes that when families thrive, society prospers. So we're going to talk about leveraging values for authentic selling and so much more. So we're going to start there. But before I do that, I want to dive in, Jill, and I want to ask you, and Elise, I want you to kind of be in this as well. So if things come up as she's talking, I want you to like just interject yourself. But I want to know like the story behind it. I want to know what made you decide to go this route and to be a family, biblical family strategist. Like what caused you to get on that path? So kind of share your story with us a little bit. And you can
Absolutely.
introduce yourself as you go.
Yes. So, yes, again, my name is Jill MacDonald. I am first and foremost a wife and a mom. I have 6 kids and 2 grandkids, and I have been married for 26 years. And I have had a lot of people ask me, what qualifies you? What certifications do you have? I do have a few certifications, but I want you to know that more than anything, it is the life that I've lived. I got married at 18 and it was really hard. I've tripped up a lot along the way. I've had a lot of struggles and I've learned a lot of things the hard way. And I've experienced a lot of joy as well. And God has brought me to a place where He took me out of some deep and dark depression. There was a time where just literally microwaving my kids a corn dog for food was all the energy that I had. To get off the couch, to stop watching TV, to make them a corn dog was the extent of my energy. I did not get dressed. I was in my PJs all day. I was so down and depressed. And God brought me out of that step by step, little by little. He helped me to see His light and His love and to feel His peace and then come to that joy that we can only come to through Him. And He's helped to show me that there is peace that I can receive that surpasses understanding. So there's been things that I've gone through that have been really hard, but I have felt peace and joy in the middle of those, knowing that God's got my back. So those are the things that I'm passionate about, that I love talking about. I have been through so much with my family. Those relationships have been some of the hardest that I've had, but they've also been the most rewarding because I have struggled with them and I have sought God's help and His guidance with those things. He has brought me to a very sweet place. And, we can talk about that more, but I had just the most amazing Christmas with my family, full of lots of joy and laughter and traditions. But it wasn't without its, I don't know, hiccups or, it wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
but I also, again, felt a lot of joy. So God has really brought me to a beautiful place. And that's where my heart is. And that's what I want to share. And I've seen my business thrive as I've gotten my home in order. As I prepared my home, as I've gotten in order, my business has been thriving. And my children have also been thriving. So you can have both. And that's where God showed me there was a place where I came to where I was like, I thought it was kind of one or the other. I felt like, if I was succeeding in my business and giving my all to my business, then that meant that my family wasn't really taken care of and they were going to lack things. But God has shown me this, the opposite. It's absolutely the opposite. When we set ourselves up for success, when we take care of our children, we will thrive in our business. So those are the things I'm passionate about and I'm excited to talk about today.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Jill, and I love the fact that you you realize that through going through it. And so often we think, oh, if we just like learn more or consume more, whatever, we're going to learn it. It's actually just taking the leap and like going through life to help you learn that, oh my gosh, I can do it. I can, because God's blessing it, because I am doing what he's asking me to do, but I do have these other passions, and being able to like put them together. And so I hope those of you listening that have a family, but you also have this calling on your life that you want to make it, and you want to be able to do both, you can, and we'll talk more about that. But thank you so much, Jill, for that. Before we move on to the first question, Elise, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I love how you were saying you can have both, right? I know Allie just talked on that just a second, but I think sometimes we think we have to have either or, and especially in society when it comes to women, like that you can't be a great mom if you're an awesome business owner and vice versa. And God wants us to not choose the either or concept, but and land. Right? We want to live in and land where you can be an awesome mom and an awesome business owner and an awesome disciple of Christ and, right? And so I think that's one thing that I really want to make sure we focus on in this conversation today is how can you have both? How can you use those family values that you're distilling with your children or instilling into your children, and also use those to sell more too? So I'm excited about this conversation. And Jill, I just
So real quick, I have something that keeps coming to my mind. So I feel like I need to speak to it really quick. So recently, I went on a trip for business, and I went to a conference and I had a wonderful time. And in the past, I would go to conferences and I would feel lack. I would feel overwhelmed. I would feel like, oh my gosh, things are going to fall apart at home. My business is going to thrive, but my family's going to suffer because I'm leaving and I'm gone. Well, God showed me that principle that Lise was talking about. And so what I started to do was pray over my home, pray over my family, and ask that they would have amazing opportunities come to them, that they would be taken care of, that they would thrive while it was gone, and they would come to cherish that time and look at it as a positive, because mom's going and building herself and she's building her business, and that's going to affect us in a good way. And so as I prayed over and poured into that, my family, I came home and they're like, Mom, guess what? So-and-so came over and they took me to go do this. And we had so much fun. And Dad took us to do this. And then this happened and this happened. And so that's what I started to do, was picture in my mind and create that with God through that prayer, and setting that intention that they would thrive in my absence and they would see it as a positive thing. And I came home and that was just what happened. They were like telling me about all their experiences as I was gone. And so God has helped me to learn how to shift things and understand again that he's got this and I've got this. And together we can create a beautiful business and a thriving family in the same space. And that just really changed so much for me.
That's so powerful. So powerful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow. Well, I want to, so now that we kind of know and we've talked through, okay, it is possible, right? We're living in and land. You can have both, right? Let's kind of dive in a little bit into how we can leverage the values for authentic selling, because now we're going to kind of move into how does this help you in your business when you have those authentic values? So Jill, I'm going to ask you that. So for you, when it comes to building your business and doing the things that you need to do to build your business, how are you using your authenticity and the way that you are around your family for your sales, for building that kingdom business that God's put on your heart?
Oh, thank you. Such a good question. So I had to first get clear on what my values were and what my priorities were and what that looked like. So I value God. He is number one in my life. That is the most important relationship above my husband, above my kids, above anything else. Because when I put God first, everything else falls into its proper place. So when I put him first, I am inspired as to the actions that he wants me to take. I am inspired to the conversations I need to have with my children. So I've come to learn that when I partner with him first, everything else just flows so much better. And I take the inspired action. So there's been times where, I've struggled with my children. Each of my children is very different. And one particular child was really struggling and we were butting heads and I just didn't know what to do. And so I said a prayer and I turned to God and he taught me about parenting that child and showed me that that child needed vastly different things than my other children. He needed a firm hand. He needed me because he kept pushing me and coming to me and I would cry and I would feel overwhelmed. And then God showed me this child does not need that. That's the opposite. This child needs almost not like military, but he needs a very firm foundation. He needs you to stand up and say, no, I mean it, and leave it there. Whereas with my other children, I could have more of a conversation and a discussion. And so that translates into business. You're going to have different clients. You're going to have different personalities. You're going to have people that come to you that are going to challenge you and push your buttons. And sometimes you're going to be, what do I do with this person? It's so frustrating. Again, God can teach you how to parent your children, and God can teach you how to work with your clients and meet their individual needs. So it's just when you partner with him, all things are possible, and he will show you the way. That when you don't feel like you know it all, then you're open. Then you can receive that personal revelation and receive that guidance from him of what to do in each particular situation. So that's been such a benefit to me.
I love that. And I love how you're just applying it to both. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Elise, do you want to ask her the next question? Or
Yeah.
did you have anything you wanted to share on that before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about like the clients, but also your prospects too, because I know that you think about every single person that you talk to, right? Like Jill and I do networking events together in Utah, and I know that she gets to know those people. And so when you say that you put God first as a value that you bring into sales, I know that you go to your Heavenly Father before you talk to that person and you ask, how can I best serve this person? Because you and I have had conversations about it. And so I know you may not have seen that about yourself. So I just wanted to bring that up because I see that in you. It's a beautiful part. And I think all of us can do it. When we partner with God first to be able to help that person, even if it's just someone we don't even know yet, that's powerful. So love it, love it, love it. Yes.
Our business is built upon relationships and conversations. And so I struggled. Like I said, I got married at 18. I didn't go to college. My goal was to get married and become a mom. That was it for a long time. And I've accomplished that. And I love that. But more in the last, about 5-6 years, God has really put on my heart to expand and grow and to open up. And so one thing that I learned is there was a lot I didn't know. I was lacking in some of my conversations. I saw a lot of patterns that were frustrating and I felt frustrated. And a lot of times I would yell and I would become overwhelmed in situations. And so again, when you turn to God, he can lead you to resources that can help you. So I thought about, as I was preparing for this, what I wanted to say, and God really downloaded some amazing things to me. So, you go to school when you're a kid and you have what's called show and tell. And I love show and tell because a visual is like, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? You can say so much more with those images. And so I like to show and tell as well. And so one of the things that has helped me is a book called Crucial Conversations. It says tools for talking when the stakes are high. you have high stakes with your children where emotions can become, pretty high and you can feel overwhelmed. And so it's important that you learn how to better have conversations. So again, through that prayer, through that time with God, he has led me to resources that really have changed my life and helped me to have better conversations. And then real quick, the second one is called Influencer. And it's by the exact same, there's a group of people that wrote this together. The best influencer in our life is the Spirit. The Spirit of God can really influence us and can influence other people. We do not know what's going to change someone's heart, and we cannot change anyone else, but God can. And through learning how to become a better influencer, through learning how to listen to the Spirit and receive that more, you can have better conversations. You can influence people for good. And again, that starts in your home. When we build up our children, again, we are building up the future leaders of society. And so as we really pour into the foundation of our home, I believe that pours into our business and society as a whole, and we are so much better for it. So
I love that. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing those resources too. I think it's important for us to be able to equate, because it is life, right? Like we're going through life. We have our mom stuff, we have our business stuff, we have our our marriage stuff, we have all the things that we're doing, and they all are intertwined with each other. And so being able to take one principle that you learn in one area and apply it to another is so crucial. So thank you so much for sharing those resources.
absolutely.
Yeah. Elise, did you want to add anything or ask the next question?
No, I think it leads perfect to the next question. So,
Perfect.
we're talking about like sales through service and how you can take those values and really help them to grow your business. I know that you have a fun way and a great way to involve your kids in service and really helping that to transform your business. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I think the biggest mistake that I made in the beginning was I saw the two things as separate, and I would just push, 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 and I would expect. So I had these expectations in my mind, but what I realized is I did not have agreements with my children. They did not have an understanding of what I was doing, why I was doing it, why I was passionate, and how it was affecting and transforming people's lives. So I started involving them. And I started having conversations about the types of clients that I was meeting with, about the impact that it was having and the way that I was serving. And I would share with them these experiences, and they would get tearful at times. Then they would be like, wow, Mom, you helped that person, and that's the difference that it made. And I said, yes. And so I had these expectations, and then I started having the conversations. And so what that looked like is they first saw me serve, and then they started wanting to serve. And so I started including them in my business. And what I saw was a huge difference. So I said, okay, today, this is what Mom's going to do. These are the kind of people that I get to talk to. And here's what I need some help. Would you be willing to help me? Kids are so resourceful, and kids are not full, kind of like adults are. We sometimes have years and years of accumulation of sometimes bad habits and of experiences, and where we're full with all this stuff. Kids don't have that yet. So they are brilliant. And there's been times where, I didn't share personal information, but I just said, hey, I've got this client and they're struggling with this. What would you say to one of your friends if they were struggling? Amazing things can come out. Kids, they're geniuses. They are so amazing. Include your kids in your business. Teach them to serve. Teach them to love their neighbor. As you do that, you'll find your business growing and thriving. And then the other thing is, sometimes you are going to have a busier season or a busier period in your life. And when you have that expectation of, okay, this is how my week looks, these are, things that I need some help with, they can pick up the slack at home. Even children as young as, toddlers, 2 and 3, they can help load a dishwasher. They can help, do things. Set good habits from the beginning. And if you haven't, it's still okay. It's still not too late. There are things you can do. So real quick, I have a couple resources I wanted to share with you, things that I've done that I felt inspired. So I have these notebooks, And God inspired me to put these little tags on, and I bought these just from the dollar store, and they have them at Walmart. And what happened was I have lots of notebooks and I have them on a shelf, and then I couldn't see what it was, and I'd have to pull them all out. And so he showed me how to organize. So I have a couples council and I have a family council. And at minimum, once a week, meet with your children, meet together as a family, and then meet together as a couple and talk about, okay, this week in my business, I have this coming up. So, I have a daughter who's 15 and I have a son who's 12, and then I have 4 grown children. So my younger ones, they can cook meals. And sometimes I have a busier time and I said, hey, here's the recipe, here's the ingredients. Can you make dinner on Tuesday? Because I have a busier day. Absolutely, they can. So again, teach your kids to serve in the home, teach them to serve each other, and that will lighten your load and your home will run more efficiently. But as you have these conversations, beautiful things happen. So real quick, okay, I wrote down about Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is who's coming. I had a council with my husband, here's some ideas of things that we can do together. I've written down, some ideas for decorating and run them by my husband. What do you think? Let's see, in my family council, I wrote down a couple of the kids' schedules for the week, what my husband's schedules were. I wrote down some activities and outings. So you don't want it to be like, okay, mom's just busy with business all day long and we never do anything fun. So they need to know that there is fun things that they can get to, but there's also work, and that can be fun too. So you include them in the conversation, have a notebook with things, write these things down, meet with them. So meet with your husband separately once a week, meet with your children as a family, and then meet with them individually. Because there's times where your children have a lot weighing on their mind and they need some help. And so you can go together with them and do a brain dump and say, okay, what are all the things that are kind of on your mind that you're struggling with? And let's go through these one by one, and mom will help you work through these things. And then again, include God. Let's say a prayer before we do this, then let's do our brain dump. Okay, how can I help you? I do the same thing with my clients. I start them out with a brain dump and I say, okay, what are all the things on your mind? Now, I can't solve all your problems, and that's not what I'm here to do, but I can help you work through things. It's amazing. Again, you do it with your kids and you do it with your clients, and amazing things start happening when you unload the things that are stressing you out. You don't feel so stressed anymore. And then they're on board and they're like, okay, mom's doing good things. And I know what to expect. I know what's happening this week. And then they feel confident in those things and they're not so stressed out and frustrated because you're going to work. They start to support you, and then they start to cheer you on and get excited about what you're doing, and amazing things happen.
Oh, that is so amazing. Like everything as you're talking, like I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, I could probably implement that. Oh yeah, I need to do that better. But even as you're talking, like it's so important to involve them because they're watching what you're doing. Like they're growing up seeing you serve and help, and not just, in your business, but also with your family and how you're treating them. And then they're I don't know what word to use, but they're taking that on themselves and seeing, wow, like I can go bless the world. I can go help and serve people. I can follow my dreams and do what I want to do too, but I can also have a family. So it's like that unspoken, unwritten vision that they can have for their own lives that you're living out. But the other cool thing is I love that you're including them not just in like, well, what would you do in this situation or whatever, which is still really awesome, but you're also giving them jobs and chores and things to lighten your load, because
Yep.
it's important for them to see that this is a family thing that we're doing. It's not just mom going off and doing this, but you're part of this. If you can help make dinner, then mom can do this and this and this, and then we can all work together to make it work, make the dream work. And I think it's important for kids to be able to see there are trade-offs, there are things, like that they can fill in the gaps, and making them feel like they are part of growing this empire that you're growing. And I feel like I haven't been as good about that with my kids. Like I've been more of like, okay, I'm gonna go do my thing and then good luck with, what you need to do. But if I include them more and explain what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and share the wins and even the hard things and stuff with them, but then showing them how they are playing a part in the bigger whole, that makes them feel included and like they're doing something important. And then when they grow up, they have that same mentality, and then it just is that ripple effect. So I love everything you shared, and I love how you're very tactical, how you're like, this is the thing that I was able to do. It's not theory. It's like, here's the thing, like, here's the books that I'm reading, here's the way that I do my notebooks, here's the way, like, I really appreciate that. Like, that is so key to being able to actually implement these things, because we can talk about it all day long, but having that implementation is so crucial. So as we close, Elise, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, so I was thinking about how, like I have a 10-month-old baby, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome when they get older, like, he can't do dishes or anything like that right now. And I thought to myself, how do I apply what Jill is teaching here, even with a baby? Because we all have kids at different ages, or, we're all at different stages in our lives. And I realized that I make it fun for him, right? Like it's Daddy and Mason time, and that's Daddy and Mason's time, and mommy's going to go work over here. And then in the evening, mommy and Mason get cuddle time. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of making those distinguishing times where I get to be really focused on what I'm doing with business at this time, and Daddy and Mason get, their time, and just kind of making that a little bit different. And then also just remembering that as I'm like listening to, Girl Power Alliance online courses, as I listen to them every morning while I'm playing with Mason, I know that he is listening to that and he's picking up on that. And so as we're reading these books and as we're listening to audios and online courses and all that, have that be a part of your home's environment. And then think about how much more of a leg up they're going to have, our kids are going to have, than we had, right? So I love everything that you're talking about. This is such an incredible conversation.
Oh, so good. So good. And guys, if you want to learn more about Jill and what she's up to, if you want to book a call with her, if you want to reach out to her, check out all of her social medias and everything that she's doing, you can go to m2tribe.com. We'll have the link in the show notes so you can go directly there and connect with her there. And that's our Christian Women's Business Directory, which we're adding men. We're so excited coming soon. But so reach out to her, make it a priority, because she can help you in up leveling not just your business, but your family life, and having them work together, which is what she does, which is so beautiful. I love it. So in closing, Jill, did you have any other closing thoughts or anything else you wanted to share with us today?
Yes. So one of the things is, it kind of leading on what I said before, is you are going sometimes, and that's not a bad thing. And again, when you include your children in that, that's a beautiful thing. So take time to decompress in between. Like Elise said, you have a time for running, she has a time for doing her business, and then she has a time when she is all in. She's putting her phone away, she's not talking to any clients, she's not responding to emails, she is all in and present with her children. So but in between those times, when don't schedule yourself back to back to back to back. Give yourself a little bit of leeway, because sometimes conversations do go a little bit longer than planned. And then other times you need that little bit of time to decompress. Just like, when you are so focused on business and then your children afterwards come to you, mom, 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 you might be just tempted to, okay, just go away for a minute. No, have that conversation, but take that time. So sometimes I'll just go outside and walk around the block for a minute and take a couple deep breaths. I let go of the conversations I just had with my clients, and then I prepare to be fully present with my children. So when they know that mom is all in, and when they know then that they have something forward to look to at the end of the week, okay, mom's had a busy week with business and she's been working with all these clients, or she's launching this and she's been all in. But hey, on Saturday, we have this to look forward to, because you don't want to be just so go, go, go all the time. Your children will resent you for that. So take time to decompress, take time to schedule in fun. have those conversations like, okay, I know it's going to be a busy week. Mom has all these things to do, and here's how you can help. You have those expectations and you get agreement from your children. And then at the end of the week, we're going to go, say to the pumpkin patch, or we're going to go ice skating, or we're going to go do this. You need something to look forward to, because then they see it's all worth it and they will be all in. So just,
Amen.
I have so much more that I wrote that, God shared with me. So again, yeah, if you want to learn more and hear more about what we're doing here with the Millionaire Momentum Tribe, yeah, book a call, and we can go over some things and help you with these strategies that can help you thrive, not only in your home and family, but in your business as well. And find that peace and joy that surpasses understanding. The world will tell you, go, 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 go. But God tells you, let's slow down to speed up. Because when you put him first, you receive those inspired directions and actions and things that you can take. And so you don't have to be so just, I have to do all the time. Spend time with him, and then spend time with your children. Have laughter and fun. Enjoy each other, and that will make life so much sweeter, and you'll enjoy your business and they'll enjoy your business. So
Yes.
you can have success in all areas.
I love it. I love it. And that's what our mission is here. So I love it. Thank you so much for being on, Jill. It's been such a pleasure. Again, reach out to Jill in the link in the show notes, and she'll be able to book a call, or you'll be able to book a call with her. You'll be able to check out everything that she's doing. And Jill, keep doing all the amazing things you're doing. Thank you so much for how you've poured into us. And we're so excited to just be on this journey with you and see, how God just expands us in all these different ways. So until next time, believe in Christ, receive the wealth and prosperity that God has for you. And thank you again so much for being here. And we'll see you on the next episode. See you guys later.
Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey of divine millionaire momentum.
Don't miss out on connecting with other Christian ladypreneurs and building valuable relationships. Join our free virtual networking events every Thursday at m2networking.com.
Ready to take your success to the next level? Be sure to book a call with us to explore the incredible resources, tools, and opportunities that we have to empower your journey at m2networking.com/call.
Remember, with God, all things are possible. Until next time, stay inspired, believe in Christ, and receive the wealth and prosperity that God has for you.